All right, now in this video, I gotta be honest, I feel like I'm giving you the keys to the castle, so to speak. I feel like I should call your playing partners and warn them that after you do this drill this week, they better watch out. They better not bet you very much money because you're gonna put a beat down on them. This drill is that good. Now, don't do what I did. When I first heard about this rubber band, flexi band drill, I didn't try it out for over a year. It's actually, I have to give credit where credit's due. Fellow instructor, top speed golf instructor Chris Hunsucker first showed this to me. I didn't have a stretchy band and I put it off, and man, I regret doing that. This is one of the best drills to get you synced up in your golf swing, to get you feeling like your body and your arms work together, to feel like you can really compress a golf ball, and to get a whole lot more consistent. Let's go and get started. All right, so let's talk about what it means to be connected in the golf swing. Now, in the backswing, we don't really want to be connected. We want our arms to go ahead and come up nice and high. That allows us to create a lot of swing speed. That allows us to really wind up, that way we can get a lot of swing speed in the golf swing. But when we're connected is through contact. And what you really want to feel, and what you see with all the great players, is that as you come through contact, your left armpit or your left bicep and your left pec are really pinched in tight together. And what that's gonna do for you is a couple things. If my body stops and I throw my arms, I get the chicken wing. My left arm flies off my body and you kind of hit it like dirt, to be honest with you. You're not gonna hit it nearly as good as your real ability could be. So when I stay connected, now as my body opens, my hands get in front of this golf ball and I'm much more consistent. I get the forward shaft lean like the pros have. I get that left wrist nice and bowed like the pros do. I get that extension through the shot with this left arm nice and straight that we all dream about getting, just like the pros do. And this drill is gonna be fantastic to make that happen. Now, what we're gonna do here to make this drill work is you just put this band, and it doesn't matter what thickness, what strength of this is, we're gonna have a little bit of tension in here. Even if you have one of those circular bands, that's completely fine. It doesn't matter which one you have, just something that's stretchy that you can put under your armpit, which I'll show in a minute. I'm gonna wrap it around the toe of the club, and then I'm gonna come around the face 3 or 4 or 5 times really tight. And I wanna do that way I make sure that this thing doesn't fly off, and I have to reset it every 2 or 3 swings. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But once I get that around there tight like that, it's gonna be around the club head. Now from there, I'm gonna go ahead and set this club down, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull a little bit of tension with this. I wanna have a little bit of stretchiness there, and then I wanna go ahead and put the other side under my left armpit. Now, what I have to do with this drill, even though it looks a little bit goofy, is now I have to have that connection. As soon as my arm flies away from my body and I chicken wing, that pops out and you get immediate feedback from that. Now, when you're doing this, I wanna get in there nice and tight to start. I'm only gonna be able to go back to about right here. And then I'm gonna come through, and I'm only gonna be able to come through to about right there, maybe a little bit farther than that. That's when I'm connected in the golf swing. And you'll feel like your body opens up and the club just tracks right along with it. You'll also notice when you do this, I'm not gonna flip at all. As soon as I flip the club, my arm loosens up and that band flies out. I'm not gonna do a lot of the things that I don't wanna do in the golf swing when I do this drill. You'll also notice that if I can keep that club's shaft in front of this stretchy band, that's gonna make sure that I have forward shaft lean as I'm doing this. So I can even hit a couple golf balls if I get it wrapped around there fairly tight. Use a middle iron, 6 iron, 7 iron, 8 iron, and then just go halfway back and halfway through. Just like that, really compressed. You're gonna get some really nice feels when you're doing that. So that's the drill. Let me give you a couple keys that you wanna focus in on as you're doing that drill. And then finally, a way to check it to make sure that you're getting the compression and the consistency that you really need. When I'm going back, what I don't wanna do is I don't wanna do this. And I don't wanna have my shoulders turning very flat. I wanna feel like my left shoulder goes down, keeps a little pinch between my left arm and my pec, and I want to feel like my right shoulder goes up. That allows me to get that turn of the shoulders very early. That is incredibly important for swing speed. If I don't get that turn and I pick up with my arms, again, my arms are flying off my chest and I'm gonna lose that stretchiness of the band. I'm gonna lose that tightness in there. So I'm gonna feel like I get a huge shoulder turn just when my club is parallel to the ground. Now, I've preached that for years, but I've never had a drill as good as this that allows you to feel that in your swing. Now from there, the next piece is the legs and the body. This is the part that everybody gets wrong. Most players do this. We stand up, the hips go toward the golf ball, my knees straighten, and we throw, or we kind of flip our arms at it. That gets a chicken wing as our club goes past our body. What we want to feel like is, as we have pressure in my left armpit, now I'm letting my legs bend and I'm rotating my body through the shot. That's going to allow me to keep everything moving forward, to keep my arms nice and long, and you can just hear that sound. I'm visualizing, even when I'm doing that, that's staying really tight and connected, and it's really, really solid. Now, the last piece of this is the part that is a make or break deal. There's actually two sides to this. Now, if I'm coming outside, if I let my club come out here and I'm coming across the golf ball, it's going to be a weak and glancing blow. I'm never going to be able to get the compression that you deserve to have on the golf ball coming across it like that. I want to feel like, as I take this little backswing, as I start down, this is pinched across my chest. Everything is tight as my body opens, but look at the golf club. It's coming from the inside. That's the real key here. See, when the club comes from the inside, from here, I can keep this tight. I can rotate on through, and what ends up happening is that club whips on through. Notice how, as I just rotate my body, when this club's from the inside, it slings out toward the golf ball, and it's a nice inside path. That's going to be that great draw that everybody wants to get. But what happens when my club is outside? As I open up my body, now I'm just glancing, slicing across it. So the cool thing is, if you've been trying to get your club from the inside for a long time, but you stand up and flip, now you finally have the feel of how to stay connected and keep everything coming through there. So I want you to feel, and it's very, very important with this, I want you to feel like your club is very much in here, and now when you rotate through, that squares it up. See, I can get as far back here as I want. I could even get the club back here, and I'm not going to be stuck as long as I rotate my body. That's what you see in the tour players doing, because that rotation of the body kicks the club back out in front, and it keeps you from getting stuck. So I'm going to feel like on this one, I get the club so far to the inside, and as I keep this tight and I rotate, it's going to be a nice solid compression, and you're going to see from the flight of the golf ball, it's nice and straight also. So that felt like to me that I was here, but I bet it didn't look like that on camera, because as I rotate my body, that kicks it back out in front. Now there's one last final piece with this that is kind of make or break with it. Most players tend to have their club too far open. This club face as they're coming down is more toe up and down. That's the way I was taught. That's the way I heard about it for years. Well, if you want to get this rotation in the swing, and you want to get your body doing a lot of the work and that club whipping on through there, that's going to be wide open. If I have this toe up and I do this same thing, look at where my face is at contact. It's going to be pointing out to the right. That's going to be that shot that goes out weak to the right and doesn't really feel very compressed. Let me do that on this one. I'm going to do everything we've talked about, but I'm going to have this face in a little bit of an open position. See that ball weak, glancing, didn't really feel solid, shot way out to the right. Not the good result that you want to get. Now, the last piece of this is getting that face square. And what I want you to feel like is a very specific way that you move your hands and wrist to get this club turning down. Now I'm going to show you how to do that in my tennis racket drill. It's one of my absolutely favorite drills. When I get players doing this tennis racket drill, they start really compressing it. They get that ball flighted. They get the forward shaft lean that they want to have. And it may be the perfect companion with this rubber band drill. You get that rubber band over your arm, under your arm, and you learn how to rotate. Now it makes all the sense in the world why you would want to come from the inside and why you would want to get that face squared early so you can just smush the heck out of this golf ball. Well, again, I'm going to play a preview of that video here in a second. All you need to do is go ahead and pick the card, click the card that pops up on your screen somewhere here. If you don't see the card, that's no problem. Go ahead and click the link in the description below and you'll get instant access to that video. So I can't wait to show you the tennis racket drill. When you pair it up with this rubber band drill, like I said, tell your buddies to watch, or don't tell your buddies to watch out. You just know that you're going to be winning a little cash this week. So best of luck, and I'll see you soon. Good player problems. We're going to talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it. The flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time, I'm going to be